Coco Gauff's father Corey comes to her defense with strong-worded message amid criticism over lingering issue. Coco Gauff's father, Corey, defended his daughter after criticism regarding one aspect of her game. The former world number 2's issue with double faults was highlighted, prompting Corey to come to her defense. Gauff concluded her 2025 season after competing at the WTA Finals. She began her title defense in Riyadh by losing to Jessica Pegula. She managed to win against Jasmine Paolini, but later lost to eventual runner-up Aryna Sabalenka, preventing her from advancing beyond the group stage matches. Coco Gauff's father Corey reacts to her hitting more than 400 double faults during 2025 season. This year, Gauff faced difficulties with her serve, accumulating 432 double faults, the highest total of her career to date. She also recorded a high number of unforced errors during the season. To address her serving challenges, she hired serving coach Gavin McMillan before the 2025 U.S. Open. McMillan is a biomechanics specialist who has previously worked with Sabalenka. Recently, a social media post highlighted that Gauff recorded the highest number of double faults this season at 432, with Denis Shapovalov in second place with 302. Reacting to the criticism, Corey came to his daughter's defense, mentioning that this is an area of her game she will work to improve. He stated that no other player works harder on their game than Gauff. Relax, it's a stat and a fact and an area to improve. She will improve, she always does, the work doesn't lie. Will be hard to find someone working harder than her on her game. 2026 she coming? Corey commented. Despite the challenges with her serve, Gauff secured 4 titles during the 2025 season. The United Cup with Team USA, the French Open, the Wuhan Open, and the doubles title at the Canadian Open alongside her compatriot, McCartney Kessler. Coco Gauff's first tournament during 2026 season will be the United Cup. Gauff is set to begin her 2026 season by representing the United States at the United Cup, which will take place from January 2 to January 11, 2026, in Australia. The matches will be held at the RAC Arena in Perth and the Ken Rosewall Arena in Sydney. Team USA has been placed in Group A alongside Team Spain and Team Argentina, with its matches scheduled to occur in Perth. The American team will enter the tournament as the defending champions, having won the title in 2025 by defeating Team Poland 2-0. In 2023, Team USA won the inaugural edition of the tournament, defeating Team Italy 4-0. For the 2026 United Cup, Team USA will consist of 3 male players and 3 female players. Coco Gauff, Taylor Fritz, Varvara Lepchenko, Mackenzie McDonald, Christian Harrison and Nicole Mellicher-Martinez. In the swirl of tennis headlines, training montage reels and social media storms, few things draw attention like the gaze of the world turning sharply toward a young star. Coco Gauff has lived under that spotlight since she was barely tall enough to stand eye to eye with the net. But every athlete, no matter the brilliance of their rise, eventually meets a moment when the crowd's applause wavers, when commentary sharpens, and when the people who claim to just be analyzing teeter into something that feels heavier, sharper, and personal. This time it wasn't a loss, nor a dramatic press conference moment, nor even a tactical misstep that sent a wave of criticism Coco's way. It was the recurring thing, the lingering flaw the tennis world loves to exaggerate, dissect, and occasionally weaponize, her serve mechanics, the toss, the double faults, the inconsistency that becomes a talking point every offseason. And once again critics pounced. Videos slowed down to quarter speed. Angles circled her elbow and wrist like crime scene evidence. Some framed their opinions as concern. Others levied their words like arrows. But amid the noise, one voice rose, firm, unambiguous, and unmistakably protective. Corey Gauff, the man who had guided her from childhood dreams to Grand Slam trophies, decided it was time to speak. He didn't enter through a press conference or a polished interview. No, Corey spoke directly, through a message that spread quickly because of its clarity, its defiance, and the unmistakable pulse of a father defending his child. People see a moment and think they know the whole story. What they don't see is the work, the discipline, the consistency. If Coco has an issue, she'll fix it. If she hasn't yet, it's because we're doing it the right way, not the rushed way. My daughter is stronger than these criticisms, and frankly, she's earned the right to be. It wasn't angry. It wasn't a rant. It was controlled, carved from years of raising a champion while protecting a teenager. The message was less about technique and more about perspective. Corey wasn't trying to change the tennis world's opinion. He was reminding them who they were talking about. Because what people forget, too easily, is that Coco Gauff is 19 years old and has already achieved what many players strive for across entire careers. Grand Slam winner. Multiple singles and doubles titles. a global role model, a voice of maturity beyond her years. And still, she wakes up each morning and returns to the court with the humility of someone who believes her best tennis hasn't even arrived. But the world often demands perfection from young black women long before it offers them patience. And Corey Gauff has watched this pattern repeat enough times to identify it instantly. His message wasn't simply about Coco, it was a reminder of the emotional reality behind every slow-motion breakdown and every critique disguised as objectivity. A reminder that behind the athlete is a person, and behind the person is a family that bleeds, works, protects, and endures. The criticism had started earlier in the week during one of her off-season training sessions posted online, a clip harmless in intention, meant to show her progress and preparation for the upcoming season. Yet within minutes, the comments transformed from technical suggestions into harsh judgments. Still the same issue. She'll never beat the top players if that toss stays like that. This is going to hold her back forever. Why hasn't her team fixed this? It was the type of commentary that piles up, not because of accuracy but because repetition gives the illusion of truth. Coco saw the comments, she always does, but she brushed them aside in her usual way. She has grown disciplined in that skill too, the ability to compartmentalize the outside world. But Corey had seen this cycle one too many times. He knew that while players learned to absorb criticism, families absorbed the silence of holding everything together. And so he stepped in. But Corey didn't simply respond to protect her feelings. His message had purpose, to reframe the conversation around Coco's evolution, not her imperfections. Behind the scenes, Coco's team has been working deliberately on her serve, making adjustments that aren't meant for quick results but sustainable excellence. Tennis development is science, not magic. Some changes take weeks, others take seasons. And some, especially those tied to an athlete's natural biomechanics, require patience, nuance, and trust. Corey's message reminded everyone of that truth. Fixing something isn't the same as forcing something. We're building longevity. We're building a career. And Coco is involved in every choice because she's smart enough to understand her body, her game, and her future. His words resonated not just because he said them,